Yes.
So he did a blog post basically lambasting Robert Scoble. And potentially this was based on a rumor. And he was lambasting Robert Scoble because he's saying, what happened to journalistic integrity and ethics? And like, wait a minute. So you didn't fact check and you called someone out on not having ethics? Like,
Nice.
what? Anyway, it's really kind of funny. A couple of people are like, hold up, I need to make another batch of popcorn. This is going to be very entertaining, guys. This is
All right, time to start posting GIFs.
It's not getting. Do we need to share this? Apparently, we need to share this.
This could definitely be a big one.
Are you guys on Reddit?
Read but not use.
Let's see if I can find the original blog post. He has it somewhere.
I just want Google Plus to start generating more drama for me and view it like a reality show.
Look, I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Oh, we can do that.
Yeah.
But what we're doing right now, I mean, people are watching, they're interested, they're engaged. This is content that you can't get anywhere else.
I need to get rid of that word.
This is content or hurt?
No, is it not? I mean, for some.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe live it is.
What's the difference in this as content is something you throw up in your blog and has a half-life of 5 days?
Well, this
Let
is
it
more
have a half-life
talking,
talking, and what are they going to say next? What are they going to say next?
The instant gratification. Good grief. Calm down. Write a book. Let it and write a book not on like G Plus for Dummies. Write a book for like
Eric is here. We should play the Fix It or You're Fired game.
Oh, Fix It or You're Fired.
Oh, Eric Rice, yeah, you're in charge of Google. Fix it.
We'll see how far it goes until Matthew, you can shut down when you get bored. Aaron, Google Plus, Fix It or You're Fired. What would you do?
Oh, me? I thought we were going to Eric. I haven't prepared my notes yet.
Something with a sock, right? You mentioned socks.
I would merge it with Facebook.
What?
And, see, that's why I don't run.
No, you're 10 times bigger than that. You could buy Facebook, but why is that a good acquisition?
Well, you've got the whole, hey, I know everybody over there social aspect already in place. These
and
people,
a user base.
Let you buy it.
And a user base, exactly. So you merge the two together. You add Hangout.
Wait, do you merge them?
Oh, or do you...
I don't know about merging them. Maybe, not to cut you off, but maybe you want to slowly do that. And that's not, don't
do it all at once.
Yeah, that might kill them.
Would the government let you buy it?
Do you buy it? I don't know. Make an offer.
No, but would the government let you?
Oh, no, they wouldn't. That would never go over.
Google Book?
They would have to do the Baby Bell thing and split it off into all these...
So you'd be like that guy from AT&T that just got clocked for $2 million because he wanted to merge with T-Mobile, but it didn't work, so he's in trouble now.
Isn't that epic? They got free money. I love it.
Hell yeah. Eric, you're in charge of Google. Fix it or you're fired.
I would immediately lift this ridiculous mandate that is company-wide that says we must succeed at social or whatever, you're fired or you don't get benefits or anything. You are not going to build a quality product when you are scrambling for your life. You're not going to build a quality product when you are competing against somebody else who's... You're building the same product. Google's building a Facebook just backwards, like in a different order. Right? That mandate is killing it. They're putting people in roles that they are not ready to do. They are doing whatever it takes. They're throwing crap at a screen and being like, looks like a UI to me. There is probably so much internal politics right now because it is an absolute mess. Drop the mandate and let your very talented people... Look, I used to really, really love Google. Nothing has come along that has out-innovated anybody in years. Why am I so angry with Google now? Because I'm watching a great company just have as much attention span as my children. And it should not be that way. Stop acting like a startup.
Holy shit, man. That is internet gold right there, brother.
Drop the mandate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you're up, dude.
All right, cool. I would say a little bit what we're talking about with social and get, actually really, they said they're listening to us. Really listen, really not just listen to us, not just bring us back in for a feedback session. Have hire more people like us and engage outside of the platform with us and actually have weekends where you pay us and involve us and we show you ideas and we interact on a bigger level outside the box. I'm talking about like hangouts in real life. What's going on there?
Yeah,
that is
a mosh pit of ideas.
The funny thing, Jacob Chappell in the Peter McDermott's Google Doesn't Get Social post is suggesting, I think he's off his rocker. It's an interesting idea, but he's batshit crazy if he thinks this could work. He says ads are not the way to go with Google+. He says what we need is a system whereby we, the users, can gift items such as Google Deals, original art, music from Google Music, social good project, Kickstarter projects, etc. to each other. This system should have a social score associated with it. The more you gift, the higher your public score. Make a social game out of giving to others. Make everything one click to gift for ease of use. That does not fall. Google does not make money from gifts.
But they could.
Gifts! Take the T off, and they do.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike, you're up. Google.
I think it was spot on earlier about, oh shit, I just lost that thought.
Everyone has to have a magic Muppet hat.
Yeah.
That would help.
No, but I thought it was spot on earlier about, a lot of the Google employees, there's not really anyone who, will say what's on their mind. It's a lot of, yes, okay, we'll do this. We'll get this done, okay, but there's not really anyone questioning that. So yeah, I think
down there busting their ass, and Eric was so spot on there. You know what? These guys are just busting their ass to get it done.
And that's great, and that's great that they're doing that work. But if you're not, if you're not, I don't know exactly how to put it, but I mean, just never mind.
Peter, you're up.
Hey, Peter, I want to take a pause just for 1 second because you mentioned Jacob Chappell, and he actually said this is indeed content. He is watching us talk instead of watching Game of Thrones. So what does that say?
Hey.
Score!
No, you know what? I immediately disqualify that because Game of Thrones came out last year. It's old content.
So he's still, it doesn't matter, he's still pausing to watch it.
So wait, who's watching this?
Jacob Chappell said this is indeed content because he's stalling on Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he's the guy with the batshit crazy idea on giving away everything.
It's an interesting idea, but it's not Google at all. Like, it's not even close to
But it's Google plus Google, so there you go. New things.
But wait a minute, so the problem with this
your
here
artwork is finally paid off. They recognized your genius. They just picked up the phone and decided that you're in charge.
And they like your Tom Brokaw.
All right, so
fix it, you're fired.
Okay, so
wait, do it in Tom Brokaw.
Jeez, okay, are we gonna? Matt, you're fired. That's the first decision we're gonna make here.
Yes.
No, I'm gonna quote Jim Collins, and I'm gonna say it's the who before the what. You can't decide where you're gonna drive the bus until you figure out who you're gonna put on it. Now, Chris, I wouldn't ever want you to work for Google because you create great content and people interact with it. So I wouldn't want you to.
Wouldn't that be better if I worked for Google? What if I stayed the same and worked for Google? Why are they mutually exclusive?
That's what I like.
Why do they have to be mutually exclusive?
What if he's a consultant? What if he was a consultant, not an employee?
Won't the money poison you?
No, dude, please.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Okay, so wait, let's go to Seth Godin and talk about the idea virus and talk about promiscuous sneezers. Let's talk about people that make money from sneezing stuff and how they have distrust from people because people know that they're making money off of it.
Well, this is the whole kerfuffle around Dan Lyons and Robert Scoble, as a matter of fact.
Right, exactly. And you're seeing what's happening from that. There's a feud arising out of that.
The bottom line is transparency, and that's a line that I've certainly walked as a content publisher. If I share something that is sponsored or paid for or with any amount of disclosure, I have to do that. Otherwise, my integrity is on the line. It's transparency is what it boils down to. Nothing else.
Okay.
Transparency.
But I was just using you as an example because my point is what I would like to see Google do is take a step back out of Silicon Valley, pretend they're a VC, and start looking for the people with the ideas. Robert's got an idea on how to make this accessible. Other people have ideas on how to monetize this. Other people have ideas on how they can integrate it with broadcasts like Sarah Hill. I'm not saying they're the best ideas. I'm not saying they would work today or tomorrow. But I'm saying if Google were to step back and pretend they're a VC and not try to own something that they're not yet familiar with, they may be more successful with the other innovators out there that have the fresh perspective.
But they're not going to take. I don't know. Bradley's already tuned out by now. But I don't know if they're going to take a step to bring aboard people who've been living in the trenches and not just drinking out of Google's fountain. those are the people who will ultimately serve Google better because they don't.
They don't go against the.
You got to go. You don't always have to go against the grain just to go against the grain. But when something, I have a history of not doing well in environments going back to when I used to work for Best Buy, not selling Packard Bells because I saw the return rates were higher than other computers. And I didn't get fired, but I was told in a certain amount of words that, no, you need to be selling computers equally, giving consumers what they want. And my response to that, which really almost got me fired, is, well, consumers don't want a broken computer. That was too transparent. For Best Buy at a local thread, I'd had similar conversations inside of Tech TV. Well, bottom line with that one is, I'm still around, they're not. So,
people don't like the truth when it's uncomfortable.
Yes.
That's what I was saying about the parenting thing. No one wants to hear that their child is fat. No one wants to hear that their child has problems. They just want to hear everything's fine, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
So does the culture at Facebook and Apple, are they more social? Are they more in touch with what's going on?
No,
they're just as guilty.
When it comes to social.
You can only +1 and like stuff. There is no dislike. There is no -1 because we've got this only positive reinforcement. Everyone gets a trophy for participation, and there's nothing negative in this world.
Well, no, Eric. To me, I'm sorry. I do not like dislike buttons at all. Not at all. The dislike button is the close button on your browser or the back button. That's it. That's the dislike button. It's all we need for dislike.
And the +1 button is the spam button.
Not necessarily a spam button. I wouldn't say a +1's a spam button at all.
Because you can game it up as much as you can game it down.
It's arbitrary. It is arbitrary. And when you tie your velocity on your vote, when your vote counts against you, you're less likely to use that in a devil-may-care attitude. This is the reason why you're not finding people circling just about everybody who circles them on Google+, because it'll influence their search results. And if you circle a spammer, suddenly your search results are going to turn into crap. There's no way anybody's going to do that outright. It takes that and flips it on its ear.
You can't have a dislike.
I'm gonna take the liberty of going last, and I'm really excited about the next two guys. Ryan, you've been quiet all night. You listen intently.
Yeah, if you want to say
about this, is that you are the guy that you've been in this space. You have a product. It's interesting. It's unique. It's incredible. And you've been trying to find a place to land in this space, but we're going to change everything. You're now in charge of this. You're the guy that can deliver where this space is going and what it's doing. What are you going to do?
Well, this has been great. I mean, I feel like I'm, the little kid in the big...
Wait, I have to interject for 1 second, Ryan. You have to sing this response.
No, you don't.
I just feel like compared to all of you in here, that I've just turned the doorknob and creaked the door open. Because I really have. I mean, it's very organic to me still. I'm still feeling my way around. That's what I love about Google Forms, is that I guess that's the creative person in me. I like to go searching and trying to find things, but I don't know how. I don't know what I would do to fix it.
What about from a musician or music producer, or that? If you want to take that angle?
I think Robert touched on a good point way back there on them localizing things, so that when you join Google Plus, that you're automatically, you type in your interests and you're drawn to those things immediately. I like that idea, but at the same time, I like the organicness where it's not a word, but
it is now.
It is now.
That you just get on and you're like, you don't know what to do. You got to search things out for yourself and find people. That's what I love about it. And
it's like an adventure, a little adventure.
Yeah. In terms of music, I mean, I'm not here to sell my music. I'm really not. I'm not going to sell much music at all. But I love to perform. I love to talk to people. I love to meet new people, and that's what's happening for me. I am not here to sell my CD. That's
so
not.
Are you disappointed in your experience here as compared to, like, say, your experience in Facebook?
Absolutely not. This has been the most incredible experience I've had. Really.
Why?
I mean,
what about it? What's happened here that's incredible?
It's so personal. It's so personal. You can talk to anyone around the world at any given moment.
It's
And,
real time. Real time.
Facebook, it's terrible. I don't even touch it, really.
And 4 of us in this room have met in real life? What does that say?
But see, that's what gets me. What makes this so much easier to talk to people than it does the people on Facebook? I engage, God, I hate that word. I talk to people on Facebook all day using the same stuff and same topics that I do over there that I do over here, and I get equal amount. All these people that say, you can't be on Facebook, everybody there is stupid and doesn't talk.
But you're not going to get trolled by these people. We're not trolling.
Family. I mean, this has the Twitter thing. The most excitement that I saw.
You know what, though? Trolling in its natural sense is one of the best things that can happen to this network because it challenges people's ideas.
Agreed.
It's like SeaWorld.
No, it makes people cry and go hang themselves. That's what.
You're talking cyberbullying. That's totally different. That's totally different.
Stacy,
true.
You're second to last, and we're going to throw you the keys.
But one sec. I just want to ask.
Wait,
go.
Well, yeah, I was just curious, just from listening to you guys. You know, obviously Google did a lot of planning before they launched this. Now, how much research did they do? If you guys are sitting here having this conversation, I mean, did they not research the other social medias in terms of
I think there's enough precedent in the world to know how certain things work in Busy Town.
Yeah, so
I'm amazed that Google did not do it. It's almost like they worked in isolation.
That's what I said too. They've had so long to develop.
They don't talk to each other. Yeah.
Chris, before
you're not even social in the office.
Get it out, friend.
Chris's head just exploded.
They play ping pong, don't they? Damn it! We saw the ping pong tables.
He took the glasses off. He's turned into Super Chris now. Super Pirillo.
They have foosball tournaments. Come on.
Brace yourselves.
Wait a minute. So Google Plus, a social network, so to speak, social application, was developed in secret. Okay. I got it. I think I got it.
It's secret. It's
not in secret, in isolation.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, in isolation, even better.
How do you not, for example, Hangouts and just simple moderation controls, how do they not know what can happen when you have there is no moderator? And I still use IRC to this day. If somebody shows up that's being a pain in the butt, out of here. If you're continually, I can ban you. I have my rooms, I have my channels. This has been done so many times before. You know, the way certain networks group information together. It's just basic stuff. It's not like it's hard, but
everybody on Google Plus should play nice, and they don't want to give anybody any power to veto anybody else. So.
It's like they're a new generation, and they're finding the same shit that has already been found. Was it like Star Trek Next Generation? They are discovering the same shit that the first guys did.
I like engineers,
but it keeps you from
cannot put an algorithm on the neuroses and the irrationality of humanity.
Well, what I was going to say is it keeps you from inviting everyone just to invite everyone. You're only inviting people. It keeps you from inviting everyone just to invite everyone. You're inviting people you trust on your stream. People you trust are going to be cool on your stream. On Facebook, everyone's your friend. It doesn't matter who they are.
Yes.
You know?
No. I only invite people on Facebook that I trust. People that I've met at conventions that are into comic books, people that are artists. Those are I'm trusting people. I'm taking, on Google Plus, I'm only circling people that I trust. It's the same thing over on Facebook. It's not different here than
it's also mutual on Facebook. I don't trust my kids being on here, but I trust them on Facebook, point blank.
It's mutual.
Really?
I do not, because there's control on Facebook. There's not control here because this follows a Twitter model of people following you.
Well, so do you guys think the teenagers being here is okay? Or?
No, I hate it. I don't want to deal with them.
I haven't seen a problem with it yet,
but you can't sit and hang out with teenagers because they're annoying.
I want an age meter. I want a maturity meter because I've met people 3 times the age of a teenager who are 3 times as less mature as the teenagers.
Oh, yeah.
So it's less about someone's age and more about their maturity level. And
I'll be banned from the site in a week.
Yeah, I don't want kids here as a parent. I don't want kids here as a user.
Yeah.
Let me agree with Chris here and say I was on ZDTV way before he was as a 15-year-old with a net cam. And I was on every damn time I could to expose myself and learn more about technology and the way the internet
We don't want to know about you exposing yourself.
Saw that coming a mile away.
Sorry.
So
Put
Peter,
a
what
sweater
do you
vest
learn?
on it. McDermott, come on.
Before chat roulette.
All right, Stacy, you're up.
Come
You
on.
got the keys to the kingdom.
Stacy keeps freezing.
He's frozen.
Yeah, he's got some volume. The gnome
Why
priest.
the most uncompromising pose that he
Oh, he's
can.
choking.
Pearl in real life, it looks like.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and invite John in here.
Fast. Okay.
All right.
I want to take this.
Stacy's back. Stacy,
back.
what are you going to do?
Okay, here's this video collaboration we're doing right now.
Mhm.
Why can't I throw up some PowerPoint? I want some Excel. I want some
Oh, that's
drawings.
coming.
And this, oh yeah, it's got to be coming.
It's
But it was on
coming. You hear that a lot.
extras. It was on extras though.
It's
Some of
on
it, right?
extras, kind of, but I mean, target them hard. Who was it? I wrote it down. I said Peter. Said bus.
Oh.
We want businesses on our bus. Okay, that's who we want on our bus here at Google Plus. Let the free stuff go to, the little teens that want to join and do their little video stuff. But if you want to do cool stuff, sell it. Take a bite out of Microsoft. That's where I'd go.
All right, I'm up.
Okay.
What would you do, Robert Anderson? You have the keys to the G Plus throne, the toilet.
In the short term, I would make sure that we embrace the idea of a platform, that we facilitate the API and development in the space. But I'd do something really stupid. I'd reach out and say, how does Google serve mankind in 100 years? Where are we? How do we involve? How do we become part of the evolution of mankind? How do we move what we are now, today, in 100 years? And how do we become a part of that? How do we fit into that? How do we better the world? And that's in terms of energy, in terms of information, because I think information and exchange and the ability to interact with information is incredibly important in terms of how we conserve the energy that we have and how we evolve toward where we're going. That's how stupid I would be about it. That's all I have to say about that.
Do you think there's going to be this information burnout at some point and people are just going to stop caring? It's ramping up to this extreme where all must be engaged.
We're there.
That years ago, though. That's an old conversation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Twitter's already there with the noise. I mean, it's just inevitable that's it's gonna happen as
We're all going to evolve. We're all going to devolve back into least common annoyance.
Yeah.
Hey, Paul, welcome to the
Hey.
And Paul is in a unique situation because he does body paint, and he's actually. And Chris was excited about your body painting.
Actually,
yeah, I saw that.
Chris was
It's kind of
excited.
interesting. It was kind of interesting when you
earlier. That wasn't a serious.
Just a joke. I meant a joke. Yeah, it was a joke. He likes art, though. Right? Anyway.
No, it was kind of interesting though when you had asked Ryan about his thoughts on what could be done with Google. And whenever I'm asked the same question, I feel the same way he does. And I don't know. It seems to be like there's somewhat of a separation between tech geeks and artists. And artists seem to work within their limitations, and tech geeks seem to look at what can be improved a lot. And I feel like G Plus has been a tremendous advantage for me as far as generating more hits to my website and just the exposure, and my work's gotten out there. People have seen it, and it's been tremendous.
Paul, I like what you just said, because one of the themes that you and I have talked about previously is about working within limitations of what you're presented with. And I think that's interesting. If you were CEO of Google, when you look at the limitations of what's going on, how would you optimize the opportunities that are presented here?
Well, I mean, like next week for I've done 3 live hangouts, 3 live body paint hangouts, and they've all been with pretty minimal abilities, using my built-in webcam, using this wireless headset, and allowing the model to talk to the headset from a distance with a louder voice. But like next week, I met Bruce Garber in person. He works at a TV station 15 miles away from my house, and we're going to try to set it up so we're at his TV station and like bring a better quality experience with 3 cameras zooming and all that jazz. So like First of all, I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for Google+. I wouldn't have met Bruce Garber after the fact to set up this improved experience for people to see what I do, you know. And it's funny that Chris was just saying that he was joking about it, because people always joke about me working with nude people, and I'm actually relieved to hear you were just joking and didn't seriously look at it that way. But I mean, like the thing that I like and what Ryan likes is that we're able to show what we're all about, you know. And I'm not about like being around sexy naked chicks and getting jollies off of it. I'm about like creating my artwork and sharing it and showing people that being around a naked person is not necessarily sexual, which is common every day for me, but it's not common every day for everyone else. You know what I mean? But I'm able to show that.
I think what's phenomenal is the idea that we can have adjacency to art, and I mean art in the sense of Ryan's music, your visual art, and Chris's thing that he does in this space part as well.
That was awesome.
And of course Aaron.
Aaron.
I mean, all of these different art forms that exist in this space, we can get access to this stuff in ways that we never had. It wouldn't happen. Never happen.
Hey, Paul.
About this.
You mentioned Google Plus doing it, but you know, it's obviously it's there, but you and Bruce specifically took, like, there are plenty of people at Google Plus that don't do things, they haven't. So I would just like the idea of, you know, Google Plus is exciting and great, but it's us. It's the people that are taking the steps to interact, to engage, whatever word you want to use, to be involved, to go out and do something. Google had nothing to do with us hanging out. We hung out. Like they created a platform for it. Well, we could try to meet each other on Skype or other places, maybe not in the same way. You know, we took the initiative to do it and to meet, and a lot of us meet each other in real life. Look how powerful it was for people to Peter, and he came from Nashville, and people came from all over, and they're doing it in Austin, they're doing it everywhere, and that's not Google doing it, it's us. It's us.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah. So. Just because Google made this doesn't mean people suddenly wanted to see each other on video or hang out in real life.
All right, I'll throw this back to Aaron. So, Aaron, in your experience of watching World of Warcraft develop, do people get together in hurls in that space?
Yeah, they do. They do. I know. I've met several people that I've known over the last 7 years that I've gamed with. And
does it take a longer period of time for the same depth of experience with people?
It's actually quicker. You develop associations.
Because you're questing? Because you're solving problems?
When you show up to raid, which is you get 25 people together, everybody has to pull their weight. When somebody doesn't, you know it. You have to develop skills. You have to develop
25 people on the same sheet of music doing the same fucking thing at the same time? We can't get 5 people in a Hangout without, like...
Robert, it used to be 40. For the first 2 years, it used to be 40 people. Yeah, you try
if you don't do your job, everybody falls like dominoes. I'm a fellow Warcrafter as well, and what he speaks is true. My guildmaster is the head of MIT Media Lab, and he has spoken on this countless times. Yep. You can tell a child, don't talk in church, because you're not supposed to. But what's the punishment? When it is, keep the main guys who are fighting over there healed, because if they go down, everyone goes down, one right after the other, and one person not doing his job has an immediate and direct effect on the team, on the little community.
And let me tell you, when you beat those pixels that you're going to go face that night with those 25 other people, and it's the first time you kill a boss, you down that content, you'll hear cheers in your headset that you'd never hear except maybe at a sporting event. The camaraderie that's felt in that.
And so how does that social platform play into this space? Because I'm hearing parallels, but
accountability.
Yeah, it's accountability.
Responsibility.
Yep.
Eric, talk to us about that. What does that mean? What is accountability and responsibility in this space?
Actually, there is a parallel. One of the way, just a quick little, not to get too detailed about it, but one quick little structure of how MMOs are set up is there are lots of different servers that have the exact same world on it. The only difference is the community on that server. So World of Warcraft has, 275 servers. They're just named differently. So imagine that there were 200, like Google Plus is on one server. It's replicated 200 times because of the mechanics of it. The way it used to be that if you ever wanted to do these really hard levels, you had to team up with all the people, and you'd have to stand around being like, anybody want to do this level with me? And you'd have to find people from your immediate neighborhood. And it would take a long time, but hey, you'd find a great group of people that were in your neighborhood you could talk to. You can't really talk to people on all these other servers.
I see where you're going with it.
Over time, they changed it so you could just hit a button, get into a queue with people across any of the servers, and now the experience of doing these hard levels is crap. Because somebody can come in, you're never going to see them again. They're like, screw you guys, I'm going home. And they're out of there. And I'm playing Star Wars, a new MMO, and it's like how Warcraft used to be in the old days. The quality of gameplay is great, but you got to stand around waiting for it all day long. The second they say, all right, we're going to let you search for people on other servers, it all goes to crap because you can't.
The community feeling went away. It went away, completely went away when they did that.
You're going to behave yourself when you're interacting with people in this kind of environment, and there's reputation tied to all of these people. You see them on a regular
Eric,
basis.
how do you infect that behavior into this space to this space's benefit?
Well, you can't because it's so disposable, and there's nothing invested in it. At least with games, there's things earned.
Okay, so what could you earn in this space that would make this relevant?
Well, it's kind of, at this point, it's the reputation. There are people that persist through all the little drama fights and all the little whining that goes on over the years. Eventually, people who are still around years later, they are the ones that become true influencers and true engagers.
You said years later, so you're telling me this is years of...
to do it.
But Eric, don't the circles accomplish that? I mean, I'm circling the people that I want to engage, there's that word, engage with, like you guys, which I've had, oh, is that a blue? Yeah, thanks, I got a blue too. But wow. It's the people I want to engage with and want to deal with. It's like my little community in World of Warcraft.
Well, circles for me are labels. I'm a geek from Silicon Valley. I live in the woods now. I can't find car guys to save my life, so I have an automotive circle. Even though the people in that circle don't post about automotive stuff, at least I know that guy's a car guy.
Dude, I found some car guys tonight you should totally meet.
Yeah, and I might have them circled. So, but they are kind of lame in other regards, but I'm still going to keep them in my automotive circle because I know that I can ignore their lameness for a minute and go, hey, let me ask you about a problem I'm having with the transmission.
So Eric, do you in favor of the sliders then? Do you hate that?
I do, but I favor models like Subjot and Pinterest where you can subscribe to part of a person.
Right.
Yeah.
So I can circle Aaron.
So Google Plus should buy Pinterest.
I can circle Aaron and only get his gaming content, but he could be an NFL guy, and sorry, I don't like football.
But how does the algorithm know that for sure?
Because he's explicitly put content into
what he's posting.
Yeah.
That's why Pinterest matters. That's why things like Subjot have a lot of potential because, and not a hashtag, because hashtags are punchlines. If I say this is a gaming piece of content, or this is football, and this is cybernetics, you can choose what to follow. Because I'm going to bore you to death talking about WoW.
80%, 90% of the time that'll work. Of course, there'll be a few things that you put a word in.
Everything always gets through at some point, but yeah, no, it makes sense.
I question, Pinterest is, I mean, when we talked about it, it was a few months ago before the legal battles even came up, but Pinterest is kind of enabling piracy of images that people may not be licensed to share. And it's not...
But what's to stop people from posting those images other places?
People will do it on a
how's Pinterest different from...
They'll do it, and you know what? They'll get charged a lot of money for it, too.
Yeah.
No, but how is Pinterest any different than Tumblr?
Because Pinterest has got money behind it, and people who have money behind it will inevitably be higher targets. Trust me.
Pinterest is different now because everyone's looking at it. I've been on Pinterest for a year. Y'all just finding out about it now, and if everybody pulls that whole it's a mommy blog thing, there's a reason I joined it a year ago, and how it has developed has had nothing to do with the intentions and the projections that everyone's putting on it today.
Sure.
Our job is to find drama in places.
What I'm saying is that it's still not addressing the fact that images are being used without adhering to their licenses.
Yeah.
it's not. They're going to have to buckle down a hell of a lot harder than they have. I mean, because of the fact that they have risen in popularity. Google Plus should be doing the same thing.
Do they have the facilities to lock it down?
Well, it's essentially a thumbnailing.
If their business model is predicated on people sharing images, they better damn well keep themselves clean from potentially violating any kind of image copyright they could be held liable for.
Well,
I mean, it's the same thing with YouTube.
Robert,
YouTube's, I mean, they fought this, for years and years and years and years and years. It's one of the reasons.
But are they using those images to make money with when they post them?
They are now.
When they link to a product site, if you made Google image search results a little more social and a little more organized, that's Pinterest.
Yeah.
They are basically thumbnailing, with the exception of
pictures and videos too.
Yeah, with the exception of the upload utility, most things are repinned. It's basically that's a thumbnail in front of a bookmark. I will never say bookmarking because people's minds go to things like delicious.
You can literally put YouTube channels on Pinterest. Your whole YouTube collection is on Pinterest.
Yeah, you can do that. I've done that with my shit people say on Google Plus. Pinned it right to my, I try to only pin.
They share it, they tweet it, it's all there.
But my test for Pinterest is I took a screenshot in January of 2012. I'm going to take a screenshot at the end of 2012 of the What's Popular page to see what communities still reign supreme, the one that was there or the one that invaded. And unfortunately, yeah, I do kind of look at that us versus them kind of deal.
Do you agree, Jacob said
about
the subscription circles, topic-based circles that replace blogs? Oh, go ahead, Stacy.
Matt, I was wanting to ask a question to you personalities, like yourself, Eric, Aaron. I might be lagging a little bit. Yourself, the personalities on.
Uh-oh.
We all have personalities. We're all wild and crazy guys.
I need to build myself an iron throne and sit in it when I do Hangouts.
Would you guys
need a toilet?
Dude, that would rock.
It would increase your respectometer.
What would be, Stacy?
Respectometer. You said personalities. That's you're saying.
I wonder if you'd abandon Google Plus if YouTube came out with the same thing but 10 times better.
In what sense?
Yeah, okay. Everything you guys are talking about.
The community.
Yeah, YouTube's listening, and they put it out.
But YouTube's audience is not the audience. The audience is, I don't know. Chris knows about the audience better than we do, but.
Chris, tell us about YouTube.
Tell us about the audience. Isn't it? It's not kids.
It's kids. I mean, well, I can't say it's kids. It definitely runs the gamut. It depends on the content you're producing. But even then, some of my most highly tracked videos, my community doesn't care about. Like some of the more popular videos I've done have to do with Lego. And quite honestly, if I published a video about Lego onto the channel, most of the people just don't care about it until months later. Suddenly it's surfaced because people who care about Lego want to see what's going on with that particular video or review or whatever it is I'm talking about.
A library of moving pictures.
It's a challenge of getting deeper engagement with the audience that I think matters most with YouTube. And there are too many people hiding behind the veil of anonymity to make community work on YouTube. There's no rich statistics telling me who's the person who comments most, who's the person who +1s most, who's the person who shares the most, who's the person who, I want to be able to flag certain users, who comment like 10 times, like, are they good comments? Yes. Then I automatically want to weight their comments heavier than other comments. And I can't do that. YouTube, whoever they have in charge of YouTube, doesn't know community from their ass because they're doing it wrong. They've been doing it wrong from day one.
But Chris, what if YouTube and Google Plus became one and the same?
They will. They're getting there, and they will. It's really a matter of time. I would appreciate that from a content production standpoint, but it's.
What about when you so you're saying when you post a comment, like say I take your video and I put it up on my stream and someone makes a comment on Google Plus, it'll automatically then go into your YouTube comments. Would you like that? No.
I think it would be nice. I mean, right now every day I encourage anybody who watches the video because the velocity. I'm like, hey, if you can, please +1 this, because that's the way we're going to get discovered. It's not just you who might enjoy it, maybe the people who follow you. And to, extend the community in that way through everybody's connections is going to broaden not just the reach, but the community. I mean, that's how people discover other things, is that people share them. So right now there's too much friction that exists between, here, you like the content, that's awesome. Let other people know that you like the content too, because that's the only way we're going to be able to grow, is that if you tell other people about it. Right now, with Google Plus and YouTube, they may be the same Google account, but there's no crossover. The front page of YouTube, yes, there's a crossover, but there's still too much friction that exists between one and another. And if you know that Chris Pirillo and Lockergnome create quality content, you would be potentially willing to always share the content because you know it's going to be something worth sharing. And so there are people who are willing to do that. And so any tool that I might be able to put in place or to institute to make it frictionless, the better everyone's going to be.
And but something along the lines, that model where YouTube had, every time you made a comment on YouTube, it would have the little share. Instead of hitting +1, it'd have like a little share to Google Plus, and it would post.
That's Facebook comments. You just described Facebook comments. Go to TechCrunch, log in with Facebook, leave your comments, and then you can choose to have it show up on your wall or timeline.
Well, so Google Plus shouldn't do that? Is that what you're saying? Just for its Google products I'm talking about.
And once Plus does that, it makes it more like Blogger than it does Facebook.
All right, so here's the question, Aaron. Google Plus is a game like Monopoly. What do you do to win? What's the strategy?
I think that's a wrong question to ask.
I put houses and hotels up on everything, and then I charge people.
You start with Baltic Avenue.
I move all those users into a hotel.
Everybody gets a turn. Hang on. Let Aaron go first. Google Plus is a game like Monopoly. What do you do to win?